All right, we're live. Fourth episode of How to Make a Few $1,000. Hope everybody's doing well. We're back. We got Sammy Mattingly, the co-host. Sammy, how you doing?
I'm better now, brother.
Better now. And we've got our very special guest, Ben Engel. Ben, what's going on, man?
Hey, Fred, thanks for having me on here. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, 100%. A little background on Ben. Sammy, we met Ben, I think, at one of the first Trinity High School alumni business circles that we went to, maybe fall of 2025. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that does sound right. So, yeah, I've known him for maybe 6 months now.
Yeah, about 6 months. And Ben, you were maybe a couple years behind us at Trinity High School, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I believe I was 2 years younger than you guys. I graduated in 21. You guys were 19, correct?
Yep, that's right. And
Yeah,
then you also went to University of Kentucky, correct?
that's right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What'd you study there?
So I was in political science with a business minor. I was interested in, doing the law school route. Did a little bit of studying for that. Decided, hey, this might not be for me right now. It's a big investment, right out of college, and it's always something I can always pursue again if I ever wanted to go back down that path.
Gotcha. So when you graduated college, what'd you get into?
Yeah, so I accepted a job in March with Woodman Life. I started August the 1st, I believe, which is I'm still with them. It's been a great run, and doing the whole insurance, investments, retirement planning game, and then right after that, about 3 or 4 months in, I started JBT Cleanout, with Jack Mitchell and Thomas Smith, and that has been a great ride so far, meeting a ton of people, meeting guys like you guys, small business owners to connect with, I've always had that mindset of, I always wanted to start something, I just never knew what it was. So it's been a great ride, and I know I obviously I tell you guys all the time. I appreciate all the advice you've given me so far, and I highly recommend you guys to anybody I connect with.
Well, I really appreciate that, Ben. That gets us into our first segment. We like to talk about what you're building. It sounds like JBT Cleanout is kind of, the main thing on your radar right now.
Mhm.
So if you kind of maybe want to tell everybody a little bit more about JBT Cleanout, how you guys got started, and what you guys do.
Yeah, yeah. So like I said, is I got two of my buddies together who are the owners and founders with me, Jack Mitchell and Thomas Smith. We kind of just got together one day and said, hey, I watched this video. I was always trying to brainstorm ideas on what to start. Just never knew what it was. So I watched these videos. Gary V, who I'm sure you guys are very familiar with. He interviewed a guy who was like, "Hey, I work. I forget where he said he worked. It was like in the investment or wealth management or something like that. He does that full time. But he said on the side, I've been running a garage cleanout company, and basically, Gary Vee was asking him all these questions. He was like, "Okay, tell me more about this garage cleanout company." He was like, "How many clients do you have a month?" And he's like, "20." And he's like, "How much are you charging per month?" And the guys like are charging per service, and he's like, $700. And Gary Vee like explodes and he like slams his laptop. He's like, you get 20 clients a month, you're doing $700. Like, what do you mean? Why are you not quitting your full time job? So I always say the idea, it didn't like fully come from that, but I say it stemmed from that. So the idea of our company is, we are founded on a garage cleanout basis. So a lot of people, including like my neighbor, who I'm looking at their house right now. Their garage is just completely torn up, and they have 4 cars in their driveway as we speak. So I mean, just there's so many people and so many stories we've heard of people who just can't get a car in their driveway. Their garage looks like a storage unit. So that's kind of where we want to step in, help you guys out. Um, and yeah, we also do all things, a storage unit, basements, decks, attics, a little bit of commercial for the business owners out there. We always say we're just a jack of all trades business. If you need a move in or a move out or an estate clean out, anything along those lines, we pretty much do it.
That's awesome, Ben. Talk about I know you're doing it with two of your best friends. Talk about kind of how you walk the line of the friend relationship and the business partner relationship, and then just like how fun it is building something with your friends, because
Yeah.
that's what we do, and it's a blast.
Right. Yeah, and it's definitely there's definitely been some challenges in it, but at the end of the day, we the very first thing we said in the very first meeting we ever had, we said accountability is going to be the biggest thing in this business. I get we're all friends and we're best friends and we can do whatever. We can go to a sports bar and do whatever and shop it up about anything outside of business. I'm totally cool with that and be normal friends. But when we're in these meetings and we're doing clean outs and stuff, like it's business and we need to hold each other accountable. We can't yeah, I mean, it just goes back to the whole accountability thing. We can't let somebody slide. We got to just hold each other accountable. We're all in this together and we're building a brand, so let's do it together and take it to wherever we think it can go.
So if I'm remembering correctly, you guys are in 3 different cities. Is that correct?
You're exactly right. Yeah, obviously I'm
So
in
how
Louisville.
yeah, so
Go ahead.
how do you manage that? Obviously, Sammy and I get to be in the same office every day, but that accountability aspect and coordinating, how do you guys do that across 3 different cities?
Right, it's been a little bit of a challenge, but it's nothing we can't work out. So obviously that means there's one person on the front end of things and two people on the back end. And that sounds really scary at first, but it really we've kind of worked it out to where, they have jobs throughout the day, but after hours and in the mornings they're full JBT. They are making calls, they're sending out emails, they're setting up partnerships, they're setting up lunches for me to go out and do what I can do. Obviously, with my job, I have more flexibility to go do all that to where I'm the face of the business in Louisville, but they are doing a ton of stuff on the back end, helping me out, supporting me, and then we come back on weekends, all three of us, and do majority of our services on weekends and then afternoons. We've got some buddies helping out throughout the week with that type of stuff as well. So it's definitely been I wouldn't say a challenge, but, it's definitely been a learning curve and, where to, how to balance everything, but it's nothing we couldn't take on, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
To to segue a little bit, Ben, I see you everywhere. You are all over town, and you're the youngest guy in the room all the time.
Mhm.
I think it's hard for people our age. I think we have a lot of ideas. Everyone saw that Gary Vee video or has seen a Gary Vee video like that, and they
Uh-huh.
get that idea in their head, but then they can't go and execute it. What would you say to people to just get them to get up and go to that networking event or start that company?
Well, I mean, especially in Sammy, you're exactly right. When it comes to people, especially at our age, they're I wouldn't say too scared, but they don't think they have what it takes to start a business. I always tell people that anybody who has that, sort of creative mindset can do whatever they want. It's just it's just what if they wanna do it, if they wanna take that risk while they're young. I always just I've talked with you guys about this multiple times. People our age are just scared to take that risk and take that leap, which I totally understand, and I think some people are built for that, the corporate life and doing all of that. But I think some people, a majority of people don't see another side to the whole, workforce thing and
Mhm.
doing all of that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's definitely, I just think for myself personally, I'm not the smartest kid on the block, I'm not, but I think I have a work ethic of, I think my work ethic, I can, do those type of things and then go out and network and meet people and build those relationships with people as much as I can. Because at the end of the day, you're just trying to help them out and they're trying to help you out. Um, and yeah, I mean, that's definitely it's definitely been a challenge so far, but I think it's in the long run, it's going to be one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life.
I love that. I love that. Also, for the record, I've never seen a Gary Vee video. So it sounds like I need to watch a Gary Vee video after this. Um, going off of what you're saying, Ben, just about starting out and kind of having this sense of agency and this work ethic to get something off the ground. How important is networking early? Like Sammy said, I see you everywhere also, and it seems like you've been able to get this business off the ground. I mean, relatively quickly. I remember
Yeah.
you telling Sammy and I kind of about the concept, maybe like at the turn of the year, somewhere around there, and you've already managed to sounds like get some pretty solid jobs. So for people out there that are maybe wondering, can I start a business, or how am I going to get customers? Like how big of a piece of that is the networking aspect?
Oh man, it has been a game changer. Before I even started the business, and I was doing a lot of networking, for Woodman as I still am. Um, I really had no idea what the whole like networking thing was until I may have met them. Just at, like, a restaurant or something at Bear Nose, and they were like, "You should come network your business," and I was like, "I don't even know what that means." Like, network, you're really like, what does that even mean? You're able to go and, just talk about your business to, like, 30 other people, like, that is the coolest thing in the world. I'm being so serious. I did not know what it meant, and then I went to the Trinity Business Circle, and then I went to Connect Louisville that obviously, I see you guys had a lot, um, and just got an idea of everything and, built those relationships, and I give a lot of credit to the Connect Louisville event, for being able to build those relationships because that has came with, you know, connections to so many companies that we want to venture out to that we're, sending referrals to, and they're for sending referrals to us. So I think if I didn't have networking, I don't think I definitely would not be where I am right now. It's just the best way to build relationships, pass business, and just help people out at the end of the day.
Yep. Yep, for
That's great.
sure.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Sammy.
Yeah, if we wanted to kind of move into our second segment,
Yeah.
I think you're you're having a networking event coming up, right? Right, Ben, is that right?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So on June 23rd at Shawnee Golf Course, it'll be myself and Jack Richardson as we're doing a networking golf scramble, which is pretty unique. It's going to be a thing where it's going to be a four-man scramble. The front nine, you're going to be with your first referral partner of your choice, and then on the back nine, you're going to switch within your group and go and play with another referral partner of your choice. And it's just going to be a great way to pass business and multiple giveaways, bourbon giveaways, Scotty Cameron giveaway. So yeah,
Cool.
spots are filling up, sponsorships are filling up, so if anyone watching this wants to join, just give me a call or an email or a text, and we'll get you signed up.
I love it.
Perfect.
I love the drop in with the details. I think Sammy will pass on the Scotty Cameron giveaway since he's been rocking the righty lefty dual McGregor putter. I don't know what year that thing's from, but it works. But it works. All right, so going in the second segment, Sammy's keeping us on track here. Uh, we're talking business, we're talking getting this off the ground. We like to ask people what success looks like for them. A lot of people have varying answers on success. It could be goal related, it could be day to day related. So, what defines success for Ben Engel and JBT Cleanout?
Yeah, it's, I would say success, um, is creating a meaningful impact on something that kind of benefits obviously yourself, but benefits people. Whether that be business, whether that just be you being a good person and going out of your way to help somebody out. I think success can be just defined by that and just defined by creating an impact on society, just with people people you don't know, just being able to do something like good for them every day throughout the week, just make an impact on something or someone. That's kind of where I see success.
You gonna say something, Sammy?
I just love that answer. I love that answer
I knew
so,
you
so
loved I knew
much.
you loved the answer because Ben, we sat down like last week or the week before, and we did our core values, and and Sammy was made sure that we had value providing in there.
Uh-huh.
And I know that's a big piece of what we do is look to provide value to people.
For
So
sure.
I mean, yeah, that's a
Love
great
that.
answer, and it's interesting because everybody's kind of got a slightly different spin on it. But Sammy,
Uh-huh.
wouldn't you say most people it's something along the lines of helping other people out?
Yeah, I think it comes back to that core thought, uh, and especially as I've gotten older too, like it kind of goes from, something material or something close to material, like all the way back to just helping others and providing value through your service. But how would
Mhm.
you say that your view of success has changed, even just in a short amount of time since you've like graduated college, say?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely even in college, I still, I always wanted, and I was always very involved with, philanthropy and stuff like that. So I think, just success on that sort, like on that end, is a different ballgame. You're helping out people who you're being, bigger than yourself when it comes to some
Yeah.
of the things you're fighting for and you're donating towards and stuff like that. Um, right now in today's day and age, I'm just trying to just help out as many people as I can. Whether that be just if somebody asks, a small business ask or just a small personal ask, I want to go out of my way. I want to help them out. And, because it's if you're playing, you're kind of just playing the long game at some of this stuff too. If you just keep doing, small stuff like that person, whether you think it or not, like that, it's a big ask of them, and it's a big deed done with them that they definitely appreciate more than you can think of.
Yeah, that that's a great answer. Are you successful now?
No, and I would say I there's so much more that I think I want to accomplish, I'm entering the workforce still, I'm still learning a ton, and I still think that I have a ton of goals in mind, but I have not reached a goal, or I haven't reached the goal where I wanna be, one day. So I would say not right now. I think I took a leap that a lot of people my age wouldn't do. And I think, along with my partners, I think that we even talked about it the other day, like and it's funny because Jack literally asked me, he was like, "Do you think we're in like the top, percent of people who like, stepped out of their way to start a business?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." But, we're definitely in the 1% of people to do that, but we haven't really, we haven't proved a whole lot. We need to do everything we can to get our name out, to get JVT out, because, our long-term vision of this thing is definitely, it's not too far-fetched if we really just put the effort into it.
Is is your long-term vision intertwined with your definition of success?
Yes, I would say so there, yes.
Okay.
So it's maybe it's got to do, because it sounds like you guys you're currently providing value to people and helping people right now.
Yep.
Mhm.
You
Right.
right? But
Yes.
so maybe your definition of success also has maybe it's like a certain number of people helped or
Yeah,
there's
I mean,
something
it's
else to it. Because I would say you're successful right now. It sounds like. I mean, I
mhm.
can't, you know, um,
No,
but
I appreciate that, and I think
Yeah.
absolutely, I mean, you guys are too, and obviously, as I said in the beginning, the advice you guys have given me has definitely been successful, and I've learned a ton from what you guys have told me. um, um, so I'm trying to implement some of the stuff you guys are telling me to do, because you guys have seen it. You guys have been in it longer than I have. So I'm trying to get to where I can say I am successful, but it takes a lot of learning, especially at this age. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna screw up, and you're gonna get told no,
Yeah.
and you just it's just how you respond to it is the biggest thing about that. You can't just sit back. You get told no, but they always say some will, some won't. Don't care who's next. You got to have that mentality to where if you want to actually build a brand, you need to put the work in and put the effort in to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a great answer, and we haven't been in it much longer than you. I probably
Like
feel
a couple
a
weeks
couple.
long.
Yeah, yeah. I don't really think it's been that much longer. Yeah, that's awesome though. No, it has been great being able to, have all the conversations we've had, and just, it's going through the process of starting your own business, especially as a younger person, regardless of if you're doing the clean out or the bookkeeping or any business, it's tough. It's tough to get customers. It's tough to build relationships. Building trust is arguably one of the most
Oh yeah.
important things,
Hmm.
that we've seen just in the course of business. And yeah, so no, I mean, definitely a lot of respect for you guys going out and doing that. Um, we're gonna we're gonna transition into our third and final segment. Sammy, who's the segment sponsored by?
Segment is sponsored by Mattingly Financial Accounting.
Sponsored by Mattingly and I Financial Accounting, one-stop shop for bookkeeping. Ben, what makes you happy? What do you like to do?
Um, obviously, family first. My family are, I wouldn't be there here without them. I've got, especially my parents. They've given me a path to success and helped me out with anything I do. Family also. I have three three nephews, and well, we have five nieces and nephews. One on the way. So just family at the end of the day is what makes me happy. I love being with them and love all the support I've gotten from them. Um, but in terms of just like hobbies and stuff, I like to golf, go outside, hang out with some friends, watch sports, do all the fun stuff. But yeah, I mean that's what makes me happy, and definitely having a good time doing it.
I love it.
How about you
I
guys?
love it. Sammy, you go.
I was asked this on the last one. I gotta make sure my answer is the same.
Okay.
I I think it's for me. I gave three things last week, and they're all kind of the same. It's kind of who I'm with, what I'm doing, how am I feeling. Um, so like who I'm with, kind of like you, like being around family, being around good friends like yourself, Fred, just surrounding myself with great people that are ambitious and like-minded, but also like bring differences to the table too. What I'm working on, this business or anything outside of it. If I'm having a fun time doing that and it's challenging, I'm gonna be happy, and then how I'm feeling is the last. So taking care of my body, taking care of my mind, physically, spiritually.
Love that.
If I can do all those things, then I'm gonna be pretty happy and live a good life.
100%.
I love it. Yeah, man. I'd say you're doing all those right now. I don't want to put
Uh-huh.
words in your mouth, but
Maybe,
you know,
maybe. I don't know.
I
maybe,
totally
I'm
agree.
pretty
maybe,
happy. I'm pretty happy. What about
yeah.
you, Fred?
What makes me happy? I like hanging out with my girlfriend. I like shout out to Sophia. Probably will never listen to this podcast. Maybe though. Maybe. Um, and then my family, my mom, my dad, my sister. We do Sunday night dinner. I love playing golf. I like walking my dog, and I really like breakfast.
There you go.
Actually, I love breakfast.
Loves
What's your favorite
breakfast.
Uh,
what's your favorite, breakfast spot, Fred?
my house.
Yep. Knew that
My
was
house.
coming.
Yeah, yeah, I think I got the best breakfast. No, but then, like Sammy said, it's been great, like, being able to it's fun trying to make something out of nothing, and, so I have fun doing this every day, and then staying curious and
Mhm.
learning about all sorts of different things, and a lot of that is, like a byproduct of meeting a lot of the people that we come across in the course of business and
Right.
networking and people that we get introduced to. Um, Definitely just keeps things interesting and fun. I've got a fourth and final segment, new segment we're adding to wrap. Ben, there's probably people that are listening to this that may want to start a business and they don't know what to do or where to go. So if you had to do like a one piece of advice for people listening that may want to start something and they're not sure how, what would you say?
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, just take the risk. You have, especially at our age, you guys are 20, 25, 24, 25, I'm 23. So, right now we don't have a lot to lose, especially, myself speaking, I'm at my parents' house, I'm not, I don't, I don't have any kids. I have a girlfriend who's awesome. We don't have any plans, until, a couple of years. But so I'm thinking, that's what I'm saying, right now is the time to take that risk, take that leap. Even if you have have a full-time job, just, maybe start something. It can be as small as, going out and pressure washing, going out and cleaning some gutters, whatever it is, just start something, build that brand, and you never know where it's going to take you.
I love that. I think that's a great
Yep.
place to wrap.
Yep.
Sammy, you got any closing thoughts, or you think we put a bow on this thing?
Let's put a bow on it.
Let's put a bow on it. All right, Ben, thank you so much for joining the podcast. From your co-hosts, Sammy Mattingly, CPA, and Frederick Ott, no letters. I hope everybody listening enjoyed the fourth episode and stays tuned for following. We have a lot of fun doing this, and it's great talking to you guys.
Red, Sammy, I
See
really
you, boys.
appreciate it. Thank you guys.
All right, see
Bye
y'all.
bye.
See ya.